so good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I keep seeing it like pop up.
And I
It's
keep
got Richard Armitage in it, dude. He plays the voice of the main character.
Really?
One of them. Yes.
Yeah. So guys, Baltar is just chilling.
I was watching Trigun last night.
The one Viking, he's the bad guy, the Russian who always in every bad guy. He plays.
Oh yeah, he's
fucking
always
Viking.
No, I was in Longmire.
Dude, but that part where Wolfwood dies in Trigun and they play Hallelujah in the background, dude, puts me to tears every time, man. It's been like 10 years since I've watched that.
It's the song. It's not. The song gets you to tears every time.
Star.
Have you? Dude, good show. Did you watch
Toonami? That was my jam.
Did you get to the episode that was removed from TV?
No, not yet. I'm only like
The Hot Springs episode. Every anime has one.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, was that
And
the
for Pokemon, it
scandalous?
was the Porygon episode.
It's the one where they go to the Hot Springs planet because he needs to get more caster shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was epilepsy.
Oh yeah, the
Porygon
Porygon
I still haven't
episode.
seen the Porygon episode.
I'm afraid to watch it.
Why?
We might all have epilepsy, but they pulled it from
It's
TV,
like
so
that.
we're safe.
What was that game on? There's a game that came out for Sega when we were kids called Paperboy,
I remember that.
and that got removed from shelves because anytime you threw a paper, the screen would go, and kids were having seizures.
Yeah, I
Remember,
remember
it's
that.
a free testing service.
Didn't you do that to one of your coworkers once? You were like trying to show something. He goes, "You got to stop."
I mean, it's still in The Incredibles too, right? Like
When
that
we were
seems.
Yeah, that's true.
when we were working at
Kid learned nothing.
when I was working at Seacoast, I was plugging lights in, and they were having me program strobes.
You mean Shmishmosh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, you can't say that. They had me program the strobes for the Easter service. I was like, "Hey, can you tell me if this is working?" And I look over, and the guy's going.
For those that are listening, he did a jiggling motion with his entire body.
So bad.
He gave a guy a seizure.
The answer is yes, it's working.
All right, well, I've paralyzed Jim.
Territory we haven't gone yet on this show.
Making fun of people with epilepsy brought to you by.
Oh, we've gone down some.
We've got
Rabbit holes. Do we need to do the intro over again?
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Well, yes, we'll do, but I'll just go
Have you watched The Boys yet?
in the background. It'll be great.
I'm on the last episode right now.
Okay.
I'm
What
about
do you think so far?
Wait, Big Dog, talk into your mic.
Right now?
Okay, you're good.
Oh, The Boys is so good.
So good, right? So good.
I mean, I love Carl Urban.
Josh doesn't like it, but
No, I do like it. I just didn't like the ending. Because my fear is what I was telling you guys. I think it's going to run on for 15 seasons like Supernatural.
I think everyone
You
learned
gotta
a
give
lesson
him
from
2
Game of
seasons.
Thrones, though.
Give
We're
him
like
2
we're down
seasons
to end
develop
things.
it to see where it goes.
I do love how the cinematography feels a lot like Watchmen.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
like a huge
Yeah,
push.
like
Because unlike most people, I actually liked Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
For what it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I like the violence is all straight out of Shoot 'em Up with Clive Owen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's that same level of like, oh, that just
But
happened.
I love the concept of it. Like you have these heroes that nobody
I'm the
controls.
greatest superhero in America. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what like
Because he's a psychopath.
if you look at them compared to Avengers, right? If you have someone like Steve Rogers being run by this corporate entity, he's eventually going to go over the rails.
Yeah.
Or was it the corporation, or they're just trying to manage the fact everyone's that messed up?
Yeah, that's also true.
You can do whatever you wanted and get away with it.
Yeah, it's an exploration of human nature.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
like,
in the comics, it's a
everybody
little
is
different.
flawed, even superheroes.
Yeah. Well, in the comic books, they work for the CIA. In this one, they didn't really.
Who does?
The boys.
They used to in this. In this one, they were. This is like where they're in between.
In the comic
Yeah.
books, don't they work for the CIA?
But they did it in the show originally. After
Yeah.
Mallory's kids get burned up, they're like fired or they get let
So,
go.
so Urban's character does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's through.
But it's funny
flashbacks.
because in the comic books, like Mother's Milk and everybody's got powers because they inject themselves with V to get powers. So they're like a super like they're not like superheroes, but like they have super durable, super strength and stuff like that. They can go toe to toe with superheroes.
They become enhanced humans.
They're enhanced humans and they can go toe to toe with these superheroes.
Right.
But they're actually better because they're actually government trained and superheroes aren't. They're just kind
Yeah.
of got powers and they kind of move with the flow. They just kind of make it up as they go.
But let's do the intro before we get sidebar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Topicocalypse, the only podcast on the internet. We have been on a break for a little bit. Big Dog decided that he wanted to go wander out in the wilderness for 40 days and try to find himself. So
He does have a beard.
we were like, okay.
Jesus had a beard.
Yeah.
Always had a beard.
He came back with some tablets and stuff, and we had to convince him that that's not.
They were gold plated. We didn't
Yeah,
want anything
they're
to do with them.
they're gold plated, and he was riding a bicycle. We were just no.
You just had to kill my dream.
And so now we're back. I am your revered or reviled host, Josh Peterson, and I'm joined here by our resident meme lord, Brett Cruz.
When in doubt, Jesus and tacos.
Amen. And Big Dog.
What's up? What's up?
And special guest, Matt Nelson.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me along. Don't know why I'm here, but you gave me beer, so it's a good day.
Hey, you're welcome, man. You showed up in a Spider-Man shirt, so I mean, there's the. You're more prepared than the rest of us. Can I try some of this?
Or I'm 5 years
No.
old.
Okay, for full disclosure,
It contains alcohol.
the resident meme lord is. This episode is brought to you by our non-sponsors, Truly,
hard seltzer.
because I couldn't find any White Claw.
There's no laws when they're off.
There's no laws on the White Claws.
Anyone want to try?
Yeah, I'll try one.
It is.
It's not as cold,
It's like watery grape juice.
but it's 5%
It's like
alcohol.
LaCroix with 5%.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
Hey,
Please don't talk about LaCroix.
pass this over to Matt here.
Here,
Ooh,
And
is
that's
just
how
like-
we all got
that's
mono, everybody.
I'll get you a fresh one. This one's almost gone.
it's like grape flavored water.
It is.
But this is blueberry acai.
You know, like when you're a kid and your grandma made Kool-Aid, but it was too watery.
Yes.
Okay, not gonna lie though, the cherry's not bad.
Yeah.
Passing around. We'll get to our subjects eventually.
I like the Angry Balls I made the one time.
Angry balls are good. That shit messed me up though.
It does. I mean, it still tastes like
Because it
watery
tastes-
Kool-Aid, but it's
Because it's so sweet, you just keep wanna just drink more.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, everything cherry usually tastes like cold medicine, and that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
it didn't taste like cold medicine.
Yeah, it
that's
didn't
good.
taste like cold medicine.
No, just tastes like watered down cherry soda.
It's the same amount as a Bud Light or a Miller or Michelob, so and it has
You can
less
drink it in
carbs.
public.
You know, it doesn't look like it's alcohol. It looks like
I know,
it's
an energy
seltzer
drink.
water, an energy drink. Yeah, it's like a Red Bull can. So, all right, sorry, sidebar.
all right,
no
all right,
laws.
all right.
No laws, White Claws.
So, anyone up to anything interesting before we move on to the topic of the hour?
Let's just get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
let's do
cool.
it.
So, Spider-Man, as we all know, number one on the charts, number one in our hearts. He is no longer in the MCU, according to reports. So,
This means we all get a chance to now play Spider-Man in our own franchise, correct?
this is true. Yeah, you see that Babylon Bee article, and they're like, Sony's giving everyone in America an opportunity to play Spider-Man.
Yeah, like there's a line forming. I think
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's
Big dog.
Reports.
You can be Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, right, totally.
Would you save Gwen Stacy? Would you get there in time?
Always.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. He'd save Emma Stone. That's when I checked out. I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Done. That's it.
Even though I know.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield, you failed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was an okay Spider-Man.
Yes.
Oh, no, okay. Here,
Yes.
Here it is. Tobey Maguire was a really good Peter Parker. Terrible Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, really good Spider-Man. Terrible Peter Parker.
True.
But-
that's a good take. I like that.
But he was closest.
Tom Holland, just the right amount of each.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Andrew Garfield, his iteration of Spider-Man was the closest to Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
I love he was witty, he talked, but he didn't. But when he was Peter Parker, he wasn't like he was supposed to be this nerdy, like
had too
reserved
much
guy.
game.
He was too
Yeah.
too much game.
Yeah.
He looked too good. He looked too old. Yeah,
He was too pretty to be Peter Parker,
I-
and he had all the game.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well,
like-
where Tom Holland looks like a high schooler.
But
Yeah,
the
that's
thing,
true.
though. He's like what, 21 now? I don't remember his age. However, like he's staying that tall forever.
Yeah,
So now if we get
he's-
an 18th Spider-Man actor in 20 years, like we can have an adult
True.
Right.
also play
right. There
Spider-Man.
we go. Did you guys see the new Spider-Man Far From Home?
I have not yet.
I haven't seen any Spider-Man movies, solo movies at all.
No?
I saw this and I just want to call it Edwards Theaters on your 2X cinema is not something people should go to.
No. What happened?
Like you imagine like
was
a
1X.
motion sickness. It's like called like Screen X or something, but it's like your peripheral vision is supposed to like take in more of the shot.
Is it curved? Is it
No, like so you go into the theater and then the walls are like weirdly the same color as the projector screen.
Yeah.
And then so during certain bigger shot sequences, like the opening sequence of Spider-Man.
ambient light reflects off the side and makes it look.
No, like they project to the side walls, but only in long shots.
Oh, so it's like
so
the-
dialogue. Like if we're all talking, it's just the center screen, but during a fight, there's peripheral things going on.
So it's like the
Watch a
LEDs.
fight scene.
But I don't think the point was you're supposed to turn your head. I think you're supposed to stare straight ahead. It's supposed to be immersive.
Like you're in the fight. Oh, that's
Yeah, like it's
stupid.
supposed to wrap it around.
Then why don't we just watch
It's
it
like
in
the
VR
glow flat screen TVs
Yeah.
that have like the little.
It was
the LED
impressive
color,
during the first
yeah.
shot because the first
Actually,
we can
that's
spoil the
really
first
a good
shot.
idea.
Yeah.
The
But
first shot's a
That's-
car
that's
driving on a
different.
long
That's
road.
like you're stretching the picture out onto the walls around you, not just
Yeah.
ambient light.
One of the kids I was with was like, "Oh, I didn't like that to see Mysterio during the fight scene. I'd
check.
like turn my head to see Mysterio." But during the opening scene, it was kind of impressive. It's a car driving down like a single highway, and you just see the highway like wrap around your whole field of vision.
Yeah. Okay. Did you see it? You
Yeah.
saw the
Oh,
movie.
yeah, we saw it.
What were your thoughts on it? What'd you think?
Like, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I got over the fact I'm old now, so that was good. But they definitely talked about Iron Man more than they've ever talked about Iron Man in every Marvel movie
It
combined.
felt like Iron Man 4.
Yeah, it was a passing of the torch film, which, I mean, we all got that from the commercials.
Yeah.
But going into a passing of the torch film, I feel like Marvel could have been less heavy-handed
Right.
with how they did it.
Yeah.
But every actor in it was
Yeah.
astoundingly great performance. Like when there's a scene with Jake Gyllenhaal, and you're like, wow, am I looking at Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark for
Yeah.
a second? Because they captured it beautifully.
Well, my big issue with the way that they are, because I was kind of hoping they would go this way in this movie, is that when it comes to the MCU version of Spider-Man, right? The Spider-Man, what makes him such a great character is that he's so tragic, and Disney will not explore any of the tragic nature of Peter Parker's existence, and that bothers me.
Well, I actually liked that they didn't show the whole Uncle Ben dying again.
No, and I don't
because they
even-
just assume that you're smart enough to know that that's how the story goes.
Yeah, and I don't really
so-
even care about that aspect, but I'm talking about like the way that he as a teenager, like he's nervous around Mary Jane, but they don't really like dive into how that feels, right? In the comic books, they have panels set aside without any dialogue in them, just so you can see like his facial expressions and you can gauge how he's feeling.
awkward.
Like, you can,
Yeah.
you can feel, you can feel his awkwardness. You can feel what he's feeling because there are these beautiful panels that have no words in them.
Yeah.
And they don't like dive into the emotion at all. It's all we need to laugh every 3 seconds, and it's just I don't know. Haven't been a fan so far.
But that's Marvel's thing. Like they're good at letting us laugh, and then the feels are like, okay, are we spoiling Endgame in this podcast?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
We've
like-
done it already.
Yeah. So like we all laughed when he's sitting there eating a burger in Iron Man 1, but then when his daughters say like I like burgers and Happy says me too, like we all felt something.
Yeah. So maybe it'll all come back around. That'd be cool.
Yeah. My thing is when I first heard the news, it was like negotiation deals break down between Sony and Disney or Sony and Marvel. I was like, oh, shit. Does Sony think that they can do a freaking third iteration of this? And I'm like,
Yeah.
they've gotten 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Are they going for the
Nobody-
strikeout at this point? Because the first 2
Yeah, I mean,
people didn't like, and people say there were things wrong with them. And then Marvel comes in and goes
Saves
and
it.
saves it.
Did you
and makes them a ton of money.
did you
Yeah.
know that they actually offered Andrew Garfield to play the part of Spider-Man, but he turned it down?
Oh, really?
Because he would have had to sign on. Yeah, he said this in an interview a few years back. He said they wanted him to sign on for 6 more movies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
He
he-
liked doing
After he had already done 3. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
and he was
That
like,
makes
I
sense.
don't, he's like, I love the part of Spider-Man, but I don't want to play this part for the rest of my life. And that's why, if you watched Under the Silver Lake, there's a scene in there where he wakes up stoned on his couch and he looks down and there's an Amazing Spider-Man comic and he puts his hand on it, it gets stuck to him and he goes like this. He starts shaking his hand, he throws it in the other room, and that's him like symbolically shedding the part of Spider-Man.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some Star Wars actor who's really paranoid about that happening? Like they said we could have done more with this, but I didn't want to have my entire career defined by one role.
Pretty sure that was Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
late for that, man.
Because he didn't.
But then we got
Harrison
Indiana
Ford
Jones.
wanted.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do Return of the Jedi. He didn't want to do Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, he wanted to die in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Like he asked George Lucas to write him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you can tell that they brought him back for the first of the reboots.
Just to hook,
and then,
just to hook the old fans.
yeah, to hook the old fans, and then they killed him because I'm sure he was like, I'm freaking done with this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, I
He
mean,
said it in
I'm
public interviews.
He's like, I'm ready for the next Indiana
he
Jones
went on
terrible
to
movie.
he went on to better movies, guys.
Oh, he did.
Hollywood Homicide.
I actually enjoyed that movie.
That's a guilty pleasure
It
movie.
is.
I
I
actually
watched
enjoyed that movie.
Hunt for Red October. He's
No, he wasn't Hunt for Red
wasn't in that.
October.
was he?
No,
Wasn't he?
He was,
no, he played Jack Ryan, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was Clear and
Some-
Present Danger of
Yeah.
Patriot Games.
Oh, okay.
He did.
was a
He
weird
did two
film.
Jack Ryan movies.
Do you know what? I went back this past week and I was
He
watching.
killed Sean Bean.
That's true.
Everybody
He-
killed Sean.
Yeah, that's true. Who hasn't killed Sean Bean?
Sean Bean just dies.
You know, it got it's.
but then he doesn't get attached into like long series, like Game of Thrones. Died in the first season, but everyone's like,
He even
dude,
says
I loved him as Eddard Stark.
In his interviews, he goes, "I've played so many roles because I always die in the first season or first."
Well,
movie.
yeah, his TV show didn't work out. What was the end? It was
Oh,
like CIA.
that was actually pretty good.
It was good for the
Didn't
first
it-
but nobody
season.
liked it. It was good though.
They interviewed him and he goes, you know, if they want to pay me over $1 million to die, that's fine.
That's true.
No, but this past week I went back and I watched the Men in Black series and I watched Independence Day. And
Did you include
Both
the
of them?
new, like the new ones?
I
included in the
watched.
series?
I watched.
I never saw the new one.
I'm
all
too
of them.
scared to watch the new
So
ones.
Men in Black holds up pretty well.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, and I like he goes NYPD, knock your punk ass down. And I like how that doesn't make any sense.
I feel like every police department needs that slogan
Yeah.
now, and that would be a really great marketing campaign.
The best part, no, the best part is when he goes over and he grabs it because I do this shit all the time. Is that he goes over and grabs the table and pulls it over to him so he doesn't.
Yeah,
have
and
to
you hear
struggle.
the screeching.
I do that crap all the time at work.
So-
I'm like shoving shit off the table so I can lay my stuff out and not struggle.
So Men in Black 1 and 2 hold up pretty well, really good. Men in Black 3 is awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Was
really
the second
bad
or the
movie.
third one with the Victoria's Secret
the
model
third
that
one
the
was good.
villain?
The
Second
second
one.
one.
The only thing good about the third one was the bad guy, and it's just because I
Oh,
couldn't
that was
stop
the time
laughing.
travel one.
And he goes,
Oh, 'cause I couldn't
when
stop laughing.
He pulls up next to that hippie couple and they start laughing at him and he goes,
Because it's the guy from Dinner for Schmucks.
yeah. So third one's bad. I haven't seen International. I do. So Independence Day, first one, spectacular movie. I know now why the second one didn't work. Because in 2000s, you can't do 90s humor. Because 90s movies all had, even if it was bad, it was aware of itself, right? And it had an emotional, there was some kind of emotional thread that kept the narrative going. And in this, you can't do that anymore. Not in 2000. People just want to see explosions.
People want to see explosions.
That's why Michael
but I
Bay was
think-
so successful.
Yeah, that's
But I
why
think
Michael.
if-
Yeah.
And I think some of the Marvel movies do this pretty well. Like they're hyper aware of like being meta AF as
Yeah,
is described. Like it's very self aware, like making jokes about what's currently going on
Yeah.
in things.
Well, you're not supposed to date your stuff too. Like that's
Thank
that's
goodness they
that's
didn't put Fortnite in any of the Marvel
Yeah,
Cinematic
yeah, and
Universe.
that's like-
that was really a relief.
that's
That
a-
never showed up.
right. New master.
Maybe it'll be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, it was in the Marvel.
It was,
Yeah,
it was
he
a
was
No,
crossover.
that was
fantastic.
definitely
Yeah. I was like, wait, they haven't. And I was
that
like,
was
wait a
a
second.
full scene.
No,
that was,
they did.
It was a beautiful scene, but I'm like, oh, this is gonna age like cheese.
Do you guys see the trailer for Taika Waititi's new movie? He's basically making fun of the Hitler Youth. He plays Hitler.
Oh,
Low-hanging
yes,
fruit.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and it shows he's out in the forest training these kids to throw knives. And this one kid takes a knife and he throws it into the tree, but the handle hits the tree and it bounces back and stabs him in the leg. And he goes, "Oh shit!"
Dude, he is really funny. Have you ever seen I don't know, we're going sidebar crazy with this, but his like the Wilder People or something like
Yeah,
that with Sam Neill.
Yes, yeah.
That movie was utterly freaking hilarious.
What happened to Sam Neill? Aside from Peaky Blinders, which was so great.
He was
but
in Daybreakers, man. He was a vampire. You didn't
that
see
was also.
He was
I,
also in
He was
Thor Ragnarok.
I will stand behind Daybreakers.
I've been
But
meaning to go back
he's
and
a
watch
bit-
that.
Well, he's like that. He's one of those actors too. That's like he's forever known as the Jurassic Park guy.
That's why he wouldn't
Did
be.
you
in
ever
any
see
of
a movie called Event Horizon?
Yes,
Dude, he was terrifying in that.
that's true. He's got some bit roles, but every time I see or think of Sam Neill,
Oh yeah,
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park,
Park, of course.
you know, and it's like
I've decided
it's like,
not
it's like,
to endorse
it's
your
like,
park.
you know,
Only after much consideration.
and I think that it's the same way with Iron Man 2, to kind of bring this back to Marvel, is you see Robert Downey Jr., you're Iron Man. He's been in a lot of
You
other
get
stuff.
pigeonholed. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, man. Excellent movie.
Oh yeah,
Charlie
And
Bartlett
Sherlock
was-
Holmes.
Charlie Bartlett.
Ooh, he was a good Sherlock.
Sure.
He's
He
doing
was a
another
good
one.
He's,
Sherlock.
yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
the third
Yeah,
one.
the third one.
With
Yeah,
Guy
it's a-
Ritchie, right?
Yes.
Oh,
they're
thank God.
completing the
Okay.
trilogy. Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know we're going on a lot of sidebars here, but King Arthur, did you see it?
Oh gee, I just watched that.
Wait,
was
the
that
one with
one?
Clive Owen?
No, the one with Charlie Hunman. That was
Oh,
Guy,
I haven't
Guy
seen that
Ritchie.
one.
Sons of
Ritchie.
Anarchy.
Guy
but,
Ritchie.
Yeah, so
Simon
it was a
Hansen.
Guy Ritchie movie, and it was
Aiden
the
Gillian.
story was not that great, but the editing was fantastic.
It was
I
a
don't
Guy
know-
Ritchie movie.
Yeah, and I don't understand the dialogue.
The music.
Like, Guy Ritchie excels with dialogue.
Guy Ritchie, if you're listening, please make Rock and Roll a 2.
Yeah, please.
We're
But,
still waiting.
Bleeding.
Yeah. Anyways, I just I don't understand why that movie did so bad because it's entertaining despite like having so many loose ends.
Because I think it was just too much of this. It was another King Arthur movie, like another one.
Right. Kind of like Robin Hood with Taron Egerton.
Kinda. Yeah. No, I had no desire to see that movie.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It looked like all the characters shot from H&M. Like it was like they were wearing modern clothes in a old Robin Hood movie.
Or like leather jackets and stuff.
This episode of Topicocalypse is brought to you by Miracle Fruit Oil's Vitabrace High Performance Gaming Wristband. Gerald, you and I are both gamers. We spend a lot of time both playing and discussing games. Do you ever feel your hands cramping up after spending a long time with a controller in your hands?
Oh, that they do, my friend. That they do.
I remember being a kid and being able to go hours at a time playing games like Guitar Hero, Halo, Mass Effect, Mario 64. These days, I've noticed that not only do my hands get tired and cramped, but my reflexes aren't exactly what they used to be. I learned this while constantly running off of cliffs while playing the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Gerald, wouldn't it be nice to recapture that gaming vigor of years gone by?
Yes, it would, my friend. I cannot wait to see what I can do to make sure that will happen.
Miracle Fruit Oil's Vitabrace High Performance Gaming Wristband is clinically proven by a board of certified orthopedists to improve speed, acceleration, accuracy, dexterity, mobility, precision, quickness, endurance, steadiness, and grip strength. If you're a Topicocalypse listener, you can get a free wristband with the purchase of a wristband by using the code BUY1GET1 at checkout. That's right, if you use the code BUY1GET1 at checkout, you will get a free wristband with the purchase of a wristband. But that's not all. If you take a picture or screenshot of your purchase at checkout and send it to topicocalypse@gmail.com, we will send you a code for a free video game. Again, that's www.miraclefruitoil.com. Win with it.
Okay, back to the Sony thing. So as you all know, with Spider-Man, Sony, this actually kind of popped out, and Matt, you had worded this better than all of us. You had taken a nap and all of a sudden woken up and Spider-Man was out of the MCU. It was,
And the Matrix 4 was happening. Yeah.
and the Matrix 4 was happening. It was a completely random piece of news, and it was what was it? Sony and Disney were in negotiations. Disney wanted 50% of profit, but they also wanted to stake production costs. And so Sony thought about this like, no, and we know why this is happening because Spider-Man Far From Home made
Made a crap ton of money.
1.4 billion or 1.14 billion, something like
Yeah.
that. So, fast forward, and now we have a MCU-less Spider-Man, but there are new negotiations going on.
Yeah.
So,
and like everybody was like, no, Spider-Man's gone. And I'm like, I was talking with people and I was like, it doesn't mean that he's gone for good. It just means they got to go back to the negotiating table and figure out how to make a deal work. Because Marvel and Disney, they want to make a deal.
Yeah,
for it. They just
obviously,
gotta figure out
because
how to make
that's
it work.
what's making Spider. And at the end of the day, let me get you in right 1 second. Disney and Marvel own the merchandising rights.
Yep.
So there's no way that Sony could successfully market another Spider-Man film without getting in bed with Disney in some manner.
Yep.
Also, what do you guys think about the whole crossover between him and Deadpool, and how Deadpool's going to be, when he's in the MCU, he'll be PG-13, but in solo movies he'll be rated R. What do you?
Is
how do you guys
that
think?
official? Is that like been?
That's just what the director had said because that's what they want to do.
Well, look
That's
at
what everybody wants
Once
them to
upon
do.
a time.
Well, no, because people were kind of like, because the next Deadpool would be PG-13 because he'll be paired up with other people.
Oh, okay.
So like other people from the MCU.
In the MCU. So
In the
therefore,
MCU.
you're in Disney World.
So
and
you have
gotta
to be
drop
PG-13.
well, the
PG.
PG-13 cut of Deadpool was actually decently successful.
Yeah, but I think do you think it kind of rode its coattails
Yeah.
of the R being
Because everybody
very
already knows
successful?
it's
Right. It had more Fred Savage in it, man. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm just that's just
Wonder Years, bro.
more money of you can pair it up with another franchise that makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah, and then so I don't know. Maybe you guys can speak more to this. So Disney acquired Fox. Does that mean that they own the X-Men?
They own
Yeah.
X-Men.
And
So now they can
Fantastic
actually
Four is
do
getting rebooted
Fantastic
again.
Four too.
proper.
Yeah.
So right now, the only properties that aren't in the wheelhouse of Marvel Disney is Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse and Namor the Submariner.
Oh, okay.
So, because Legendary Pictures owns Namor, they
Keanu
bought them.
Reeves' next role.
So Legendary, Legendary
Matrix
bought
18.
Namor before Legendary was bought by Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers technically owns Namor the
Oh,
Submariner.
okay.
And so part of the contracts, much like with the Hulk, is that they can only make a movie with this character if it's an ensemble movie. He can't have his own solo film. And so the rights to Submariner will revert back to Marvel in I want to say like 4 years, I thought it was.
Okay.
Until Netflix picks it up for some reason.
Yeah, gee, don't get me started on those. I hope that the next Spider-Man film features Charlie Cox as Daredevil, because they're talking about how Spider-Man's going to have a lawyer in this one
Dude,
and all that.
honest, Daredevil was the crown jewel of superhero content I've seen in the past 10 years.
It was like the other ones, as I've said in the past, like I have had to force myself through watching the other Netflix.
Oh yeah, it was all to prep for season 2.5, which was the Defenders, and then
Yeah,
season
and
3
then-
I was like, well, if it's going to end, like, I like this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like the Punisher.
Okay, so
In
this
Daredevil, right? Or
Huh?
did you like the show?
Oh, I like the
show.
show.
the second season was
need a
good.
hug?
The
You
first
doing okay?
season.
Huh? Oh, I'm doing great. I like gratuitous violence.
We all do. That's why I was confused.
Okay,
by how-
so this popped up on the internet a couple days ago. It's a new deal, and since it did, Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland have confirmed that this is happening. So, a new Spider-Man deal possibly underway with Sony. This is coming from Cosmic Book News. A 6-picture deal with Tom Holland with an option for a 7th. There are 3 more Spider-Man films after Spider-Man 3, which will be a new trilogy. Second trilogy will focus on Peter Parker's college years, including plans for Peter to meet up and team up with Firestar and Iceman of the X-Men.
Ooh, I like that.
And so that's kind of like the old Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon that was on in the 60s. The other 3 movies are 2 Avengers films in which Spider-Man will have a larger role and become friends with Johnny Storm, Human Torch if you don't know that. Marvel Studios will hum and co-produce all Spider-Man related movies for 30% of the full profits. Disney previously wanted 50%, but Sony said no, which led to the negotiations breaking down. Sony would distribute, but Disney will acquire exclusive digital and online rights, so all Spider-Man content being made will go to Disney streaming platforms. So Sony, whatever their streaming platform they want to have, will not be a thing. Marvel Studios will hum and co-finance Spider-Verse live-action spin-offs under the same terms, so they'll help pay for like the Into the Spider-Verse film, stuff like that. Venom will relocate into the MCU.
Yes.
Yes.
Sony will be given permission for TV live-action programs based on Spider-Verse properties. Sony only has film rights. Disney wants deal to be done before D23, so I expect we'll hear more about this before the end of the weekend. And allegedly there's going to be a Spider-Man panel at D23. So D23 ends tomorrow, if I remember correctly. So
I think so. I think it's a weekend.
That's the
Yeah.
Disney's. We're announcing all of our amazing stuff.
Oh, it's their own expo.
It's like the shareholders high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
it really
They
is.
It's great. I'm not
It's-
bashing
they
it, but
did
it's
they did like a Hall of Fame thing. Like they inducted James Earl Jones and people that have contributed to
I
the
am the
success
only
of the
voice
mouse,
actor.
and now they're
who continued for the. I can't do him. I'm done.
He played Santa Claus in Recess, man.
who always be Darth Vader. And,
So thoughts.
Mufasa.
My first question to you guys is: do you think that the MCU could survive without Spider-Man?
yes,
I think that was, but he's like after all these other franchises kind of pseudo ended. He's the most popular, profitable franchise.
Well, if you watch
Yeah.
if you watch Far From Home, like he was being geared up to be the next Iron
Yeah,
Man.
they blatantly made apparent from the commercials. So you didn't
Yeah.
even see the movie. This was a passing of the torch. Tony Stark carried the past however many years we've been
glasses,
in,
man.
and now
Right.
and
That
now
was a
Tom
big part
Holland's
of
going
it.
to carry us through like Robert Downey Jr. did.
Yeah.
So they can survive because they're printing money and they're going to keep printing money. But
Yeah.
it'll be better if we keep going with what they planned.
Just wait until they make it to where he teams up with Tony Stark's daughter or whatever, and they have a team up. Or
Do you think that she'll be Lady Ironheart instead of
or,
Riri?
or a completely new character?
Yeah.
it's true.
What was Gwyneth Paltrow playing Rescue? I guess she's not going to be in any more films, but
No, she just did this for that one-time thing.
yeah.
But I did like that joke of like, oh, your mom never wears anything I buy her, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna get to see Rescue in a movie. Like,
Yeah. I there's a lot of thoughts on how that whole thing was filmed, but
Well, yeah, no, I'm not getting to that scene. But
We discussed it quite in depth
Thoroughly.
in the previous podcast. Check it out.
Okay, so like your thoughts? You think an MCU without Spider-Man could be successful?
Oh yeah, 100%. They have enough interesting stories to tell. They've already given us a calendar of tons of movies I want to see. Like another Doctor Strange movie is going to blow
Yeah.
most of our minds.
Yeah.
They have enough interesting people, but
Well-
it'd be a weird misstep.
Well,
without
he
him.
has one of the most colorful card of ensemble of villains. He's like Batman. He has like
Oh,
a
yeah.
crazy amount of diverse villains.
Yeah,
And
the
can-
stable of villains is beautiful.
Yeah.
He does, but Sony has been very irresponsible with that stable of villains in the past. Remember, they wanted to make a Black Cat and Silver Sable
I
fell
want
through.
to
That
see the
didn't
Sinister
happen.
Six thing.
I
We
would
all
love
wanna
to
see
see a
it,
Sinister
yeah.
Six, but it needs to have Spider-Man in it. Same thing with like
That's fine, but
do you-
dude, can you make like Michael Keaton as the Vulture? Dude, he was so good.
he was good.
He was the best Marvel villain, I'll argue. Like,
Yeah, no,
he
he
seemed like a
was-
real dude, and his character had motivation to do what he did, aside from
Definitely.
killing Shocker. But I mean, we all want to kill Shocker, so
Who doesn't?
no one was mad.
Who doesn't? It was what fans want to see is Spider-Man take on Carnage, and you can't do that without Venom, right? So
Sure.
if the MCU absorbs Venom and then they end up doing like a Carnage type thing, it would be cool to see Spider-Man in there because Carnage has in the comic books, Carnage has killed a lot of Spider-Man's loved ones.
Well, yeah, because Venom and Spider-Man have to, and I think one other person, I can't remember the other person. They have to team up to defeat Carnage.
Yeah.
I can't remember what comic book series that was, but
Well,
yeah.
so in the Ultimate Comics, Carnage actually kills Gwen Stacy.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see. Regarding this new deal, though, what do you guys think? Do you think that Venom would be a good fit in the MCU?
Keep Tom
Tom Hardy,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is Tom
yeah.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy,
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, there's too many Toms.
Toms.
It's the new Chris. It's we have 18 Chris's and 14 Toms in the
Seriously.
MCU.
Okay, so I didn't see the Spider-Man movies as a whole. Like, I've never saw a complete one. Do they even introduce? Oh crap! Drawing a blank.
Symbiote?
The Green Goblin.
In the Amazing Spider-Man, not in this
Characters,
one.
him
This,
and
past
Osborn.
two.
So do they
this
do
has
they reference the
they have
Osborns?
not even be referenced introduced at all because that was like they were the villains in both of the earlier series.
Yeah, no, that's
so
why I
think
was
they're
just
trying to
curious.
stay
'Cause I
away
never
from
saw them. I was that's another. They haven't even introduced those people yet.
I think we could skip that though. We've seen that story twice on the big screen.
Not very well though.
There's a lot of cool. Like I would love to see Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, I heard that Tom Holland even said that he wanted that to be his next villain.
Yeah, that would be cool. Morbius. I know they're doing a Jared Leto movie with Morbius. I don't know how
Wasn't
well
that
he would
rumored like years ago?
Yeah, and Jared Leto has come out on Twitter and say, "Hey, this is happening." But I would love to see Morbius with Spider-Man though, not like in his own
Yeah.
spin-off film.
Yeah.
Please no. Netflix, don't pick that up.
Who's the guy? The
Marvel won't let them because now they got Disney Plus. So.
That's true. That's true.
We're gonna reinvent cable one channel at a
Oh
time.
my gosh, dude! It's too many streaming
I really
services.
want to watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, we're all getting Disney Plus to watch
Yeah,
that.
we
I'm
are.
gonna have to find a legal stream somewhere.
Well, here's the cool thing about that though. Like you can do. They just announced what HBO, Disney Plus, and something else for like $12 a month. If you
That's
It's
cheaper
like
than
a
the
bundle.
HBO.
It's like a bundle deal. It's because HBO's dying, so they're trying to catch on to whatever they can.
yeah.
Yeah, because HBO's they lost their top running show.
Yeah.
So until they
Yeah,
What's taking its place?
Well, they have Watchmen.
Yeah,
what
The
there's
was,
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
what was
they're
the
hoping-
Polar Bear Golden Compass?
Golden
they're like
Compass.
redoing.
They're hoping
it looks-
Westworld will
Westworld will take
will
off.
pick up.
I heard, but Westworld
They
kind of feels like
they-
it's all the way out.
Westworld will be bad if they go past season 5. Like
Oh, for
it's
sure.
definitely a story that
'Cause
needs to
they're-
end, but
yeah.
it's a masterpiece so far.
I love how what's her name? Rachel Evan Woods is the main
Yeah.
character. She goes on and she comments about how like Harper's character in Stranger Things 3 is toxic and how no man should ever treat a woman like that. Yet she's out on Westworld just shooting people in the head all the time. Like what is
Well, his character was supposed to be a stereotype to be
out of the 80s.
He was wearing a Magnum PI shirt and a giant mustache. Like if you didn't think he
Yeah.
was a stereotype,
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think Evan Rachel Wood's critique of
Yeah, she's like talking about how men like Harbor are toxic and
Was
Stranger
she
Things.
in Stranger
No,
Things?
she's just critiquing how like a character like
haven't-
that
I
shouldn't
haven't
be
seen the season,
shouldn't be
first season.
idolized or role modeled or any of that stuff.
no one wanted. I didn't walk away from that being like, oh, that's what a man should do.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just wanted to be
Or
heard.
I think for her and the whole political social justice whatever is that
Why do we need to say things though? Why does it matter?
Because you have a platform, and so you feel entitled to use it.
So if you had access to millions and millions of people, Josh, you wouldn't say one thing that was on your mind? Try to like get it out there? We're doing it right now.
This could be dangerous. This could not be a good idea. I don't need a
Baiting him into it.
I don't need a platform.
Cheers, news reporter. You got him.
I don't need a platform.
Just be Chris Pratt and encourage people to love God.
Yeah, there we go.
While
plug
secretly
right there.
talking tons of shit to people who comment on your wife's stuff.
See,
Wife or former wife.
His current wife,
Current
the
wife.
Schwarzenegger.
I wouldn't use it to talk political stuff.
Because she was totally like purposely excluding her half brother, and someone commented on it, and then Chris Pratt, hey, you should really just mind your own business.
Dang, he's standing up for his honey, man.
Yeah. Hey, he's got to stand up for his honeybee. Otherwise
Have
he
we
can get
all
no
said
honey.
something dumb standing up for a girl we like? Yeah, we're all there.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuses.
It's an excuse, but we're human. So.
So where would you guys like to see Spider-Man go? Should he stay in the MCU?
Yes.
Please keep Tom Holland because
No.
I can't take a fourth one at this point.
Well, I mean, who would you like to see him fight? Like villain story-wise, what would you like to see explored? Sinister Six, obviously, we talked about
I want
that.
to see Gwen Stacy as Black Cat.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I
I would
like
like
that
to
I want to see
see
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah,
I'd like to
Spider-Gwen
see
was
Spider-Gwen.
She has a cool costume.
I would.
I really enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse, honestly.
Yeah, I would like to see.
What do you guys
Even
think?
though even though they've done it like twice, I would like to see them do a Green Goblin, Hobgoblin thing. I don't think they need to do as an in-depth of how they came to be who they are, because I think
But I
we
think
already
it'd be-
know.
I think it'd be a cool
by this
idea
point.
to explore what an evil Iron Man would look like, because the
Iron-
Osborns are pretty much
Iron Patriot.
kind of, but way on a different kind of evil level, like crazy evil, like the Joker level.
Joker level, and I think you can do that with the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, because he's crazy.
See, my thing with that is that Disney, as I said before, like
Yeah, they won't go there.
Spider-Man has what makes him so appealing is that he's so tragic, right? He's so tragic and he's relatable. So like you feel
He's relatable because anybody could be Spider-Man.
he's the everyman hero, but like he has tragedy too.
He has
like
to
his,
pay
his
rent
uncle,
still.
his uncle Ben dies.
yeah,
like,
he's a regular person.
he's
who has to
dealing
deal
with
regular problems.
Yeah, and he's dealing with a lot of dark stuff too, though. Like his villains, as far as and like people he cares about dying and stuff like that. And Disney won't explore those
But,
aspects
you
of
never
that
see
character.
Batman struggling with relationship problems, and
What?
Spider-Man does all the time.
I
No,
think
that's
that's a
like-
bigger like DC versus Marvel problem. Like Marvel, when you walk out of a Marvel movie, even if it's cheesy and they didn't go emotionally deep, but that scene in Avengers 1 where the old man stands up to Loki and says, "I've seen people like you before."
Yeah, that
like
was-
I got
that's pretty good.
chills,
That
and
was
we all walked out of the theater like Marvel encourages you to walk out and say, "I can stand up for something that's right and help other people. I'm going to need other people." Like Captain America had to be there to save that man's life, but like you walk away encouraged. But DC is like, we need this giant all-powerful being to like come in and save us, and you just leave every DC movie like kind of sad.
Yeah, I suppose Marvel
it
wants you to
does.
save yourself, and DC is telling you need to be saved.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about DC is though, like a lot of their heroes are kind of more normal people. They're not as
I
powerful.
mean, they're more
as
messed up.
They're more messed up, but I mean, they're not as powerful or overpowered
They're not
as a
as
lot
goody
of the
two shoes. They're
Marvel
not as
characters
they
are.
they actually have layers.
Yeah,
Like Shrek.
because like that's
But like
one thing.
I really liked how they showed that Captain America had layers, where he went kind of darkish and he was weird.
Like an onion.
Yeah, like an onion. Oh, girls are like onions.
Do you guys want to cut the episode before we do a new fresh take for Matrix, or you want to just feed it onto this one?
We'll get 2 episodes out of it.
All right,
How long
sounds
have we been
good.
recording? A while.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts on the Spider-Man fiasco?
Let's hope it gets resolved so we can enjoy more Tom Holland.
If not, Disney will buy Sony Pictures.
That was my first comment. Was like,
How
I'm
long-
waiting.
yeah,
I'm waiting for
that
Bob
check.
Iger to announce we've recently acquired Sony movie production studios, and I'm like,
And then we all
fucking
get what
buy
we
it
want.
all,
Hey,
Disney shit.
We all get what we want, right? Annie in the MCU. Isn't that what we were all striving for?
Yeah.
That was the goal of this whole thing when Kevin Feige started it.
Yeah, you thought it was going to kill the Terminator franchise, but Honest Workers said nuh-uh.
Well,
Yeah,
he said I'll be back.
so
They said we'll be back.
We'll have Annie standing over the cold, dead corpse of Galactus, and she'll be like, "I told you the sun was going to come out tomorrow."
It's a hard knock life.
It's a hard knock life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been a pleasure.
Looking for an edge the next time you take on your favorite video game? Then check out Vitabrace High Performance Gamer Wristbands. Packed with the power of fruit seed oil, Vitabrace is clinically proven to help improve performance, giving you a better gaming experience. Head to miraclefruitoil.com and use the promo code MEDIA10 to get $10 off your Vitabrace purchase. Whether you're looking to beat the time on your latest speedrun or are fighting your way to the top on your favorite multiplayer or battle royale, Vitabrace can help you reach your gaming goals. Buy Vitabrace today at miraclefruitoil.com. That's miraclefruitoil.com. Vitabrace. Win with it.